Vivienne Westwood was a real iconoclast. She got into the business in the late 1970s as a designer with her partner Malcolm McLaren, who had founded and helped promote the Sex Pistols, and they needed clothes to wear. So she started sewing clothes in the back of a shop on King's Road and invented the look that became the look as punk, with sort of bondage straps and hooks and even razor blades dangling from the clothes. It's sort of taking the Sex Pistols music and turning it into, expressing it through clothing and through fashion and design. And from there, they would redo the story each time they had a collection. At one point, it was called Seditionaries. At the end, it was called World's End, which kind of tells you everything, right? And then she and McLaren split, and she went on to dominate the Paris runways with her heavy British centric clothing design that was heavy on like tweedy corsets and Scottish checks and bustles, but was defiantly sexy and always in your face.
Yeah, in your face, a provocateur. And for someone who maybe didn't follow fashion like myself, she got our attention, didn't she? From photographs or stunts she had pulled. What was your favorite memory or anecdote of her?
Well, when climate change became clearly a movement and she saw the impact that the fashion industry had on it, she started her own movement called Climate Revolution. And she would use her runway as a platform to to mount protests or to make statements. And I think my favorite was when she had climate zombies careening down the catwalk. That was pretty great.
So the fashion world losing a giant. Is her legacy and her influence evident on any of the younger generation?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we wouldn't have John Galliano were it not for Vivienne Westwood. He was completely influenced by her in his early days and went to her shows and riffed on the things she was riffing on and really got his creative start by studying and watching all that she was doing. But then you also wouldn't have had Alexander McQueen without Vivienne Westwood and so many others. Now we're looking at Jeremy Scott, an American designer, and Moschino doing really fun and outrageous things that are very rooted in Vivienne Westwood. Anything that has a really fabulous corset waist and puffy skirts and attitude, so much attitude. She was the one that was blowing up fashion in the late 70s. And then she wound up embracing things like Savile Row tailoring, and melding it with this outrageousness. And it just became a wonderful British look that then turned into an international voice in fashion.
Indeed. Thank you very much for your time.